We're skirmish gamers, but it's time we finally navigate the pitfalls of army painting.
All right, if you missed our last video talking about this year, well, not this year technically, a year from the last video, we're getting our 40k armies together, 2,000 points. We're doing 500 points at a time. Go watch that video in the corner to get up to speed about what this is. But in this video, Victor, you're going to explain to us how you got together your Tyranid scheme.
Yeah, so we paint a lot of kill teams, and the beauty of that is that it's not really a big commitment. Like, worst case scenario, if you hate what you're doing, it's like, okay, I just got to get through 12 guys, and it's fine. But now we're army painters, and so there's a few things that I wanted to consider before getting into this paint scheme. First of all, it needed to be fast, because I'm playing Tyranids, and there's going to be a ton of them, and I just can't be spending hours on each mini. It's got to be replicable. Again, I've got a ton of them, so I need to be able to do very easily replicable steps so that they can all look cohesive, because there's like nothing worse than an army that looks like a total hodgepodge, and there's like nothing that hits quite as nice as like a really cohesive horde on the table. And then the third thing is that it's got to look decent. Like, you know, none of these Tyranids are going to be sent in for Golden Demon consideration, but it's important to me that they look okay on the table. So today I'm going to go through painting one small guy and one big guy to test out a scheme and see how it works for my first 500 points. Okay, so the first step in any like insane speed paint like this has to be priming it the main color. I had no idea what my scheme was going to be, but I went to the store to pick up these gaunts, and I just like went to the primer section and found one I liked and ended up with this spray primer from Vallejo. Can't remember the name of it, but it'll be in the description. And then the next step is just like a dead simple all over dry brush of Army Painter Boney Spikes. I love this paint. It's like such a good pale sand, and it goes on smooth. I don't know how much of a difference this really makes, this dry brush step, but it's honestly just helps my old man eyes actually know what I'm looking at. For the next step, which is just picking out all the chitinous armor with Leviadon Blue, which is a Citadel contrast paint. So this scheme uses almost like no honest painting with a brush. This is like pretty much all of it. And then next, I rediscovered a product that I used to hate, but I think it's just because I didn't understand it. It's this Vallejo Umber Wash. I first got it to replace Agrax Earthshade, and it definitely is not that. It is so good, and I really recommend it highly. It stays workable for a really long time, it's got a gorgeous matte finish, and it really finds the recesses nicely. I don't know what I was expecting it to do the first time that made me hate it so much, but I've gone back to it, and I'm definitely going to use this stuff a lot now. So the next step is to dry brush all of the blue parts with Vallejo Turquoise. This is such a nice color, and I think it really contextualizes this blue well. You'll notice I only did one coat of the contrast paint, and it came out super splotchy, as it so often does, and I just didn't worry about it because this dry brush covered it all up. And honestly, these Tyranids, they are made for this. There's so many little details that just like really come alive with a dry brush.
Oh, I noticed you got some of the blue on like the beige flesh.
I did.
Are you going to strip it and restart it?
That's actually a bit of unfortunate foreshadowing for later. The next step is just to dry brush all of the non-blue stuff with a light coat of that same Army Painter Boney Spikes. Now I'm applying some Vallejo Warlord Purple with a sponge just on the shell parts. This is interesting. So I went to Michael's and I got the like expensive like artist natural sponges. This thing sucks. Like, rip up a piece of kitchen sponge and use that. It's so much better. But you know, I bought it, so I used it. And so that's pretty much done. Like, you know, I'm gonna base it later and do some pigments and stuff to kind of put it in universe. But in terms of painting, that's all there is. And I don't know if you noticed, but like not once was I like edge highlighting or layering or anything. Like I could basically do this all with my right hand. And like, this is no effort at all. I'm very happy with how this has come so far. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how this scheme has turned out so far. Other than like one brief step that I kind of hesitate to even call a highlight. Like there's no real painting here. It's all like dry brushing, sponging, contrast. It's like this is like some real assembly line stuff and is like some of my best speed paint work, I think. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I like this game too. I like how you went with the synthwave palette for like the what would you call that? The chitin?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the rest of the minis look very grounded in like a grim, dark, deserty kind of vibe. So I think, you know, it really makes the chitin stand out a lot.
Yeah, Grimwave. Synth dark.
Synth dark?
Yeah.
Should we patent that?
Yeah, I think so. So my list is going to be a mix of a lot of little gribbly dudes and then a few big monsters because it's Tyranids and I think the big monsters are the best. So now I've got to see if all these techniques and if this scheme is going to work on a big thing. But instead of just droning on and saying all the steps that I've already said, we're going to cue the montage music and you can watch me paint this screamer killer. Since I'm not saying anything, it'll be a great time to like and subscribe while you watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was easy. So now I got to base these things. And the first step there is to use this AK sand texture. I use this stuff all the time and I think it's pretty great. It thins down really nicely with water. It's got a great texture. And now I'm doing a controversial move here. Brad is literally out of his seat.
Yeah, I'm about to say something, but it sounds like you already know.
I am applying tufts directly to the wet texture. I just want to try it, see if it would work.
Did it?
Yeah, you know. Things have worked better, but it was fine. There's a product I really love called Liquid Pigments by AK. It's a super powerful pigment and it goes in all the recesses and it dries really like chalky and matte in a satisfying way. If you've watched the channel a lot, you've seen it on a lot of my stuff. I really like it. One thing I forgot is that these Vallejo spray primers are total trash and get completely reactivated and stripped at even the mention of a spirit. So I applied a bunch of this liquid pigment and as you can see, it totally took the paint off of this poor Gaunt's legs. I threw a bit more paint on just to say I did, but I got to cover it up with normal pigments now. This is a real shame. So in the turntable shots, you're going to see 10 Hormagaunts. One of them is not wearing his pants, clearly, but that's all right because, you know, live and learn. And the whole point of this was to try out the scheme and learn some lessons. I've made this mistake with Vallejo primers before and just totally forgot about it. And so, yeah, there you go. You've come along with my pain, and this guy has stripped his legs, but I'm going to do my best to cover it up with pigments. So anyway, I was going back and forth between some of this like red, dusty kind of Martian pigment I have and some other like sandy rubble, and neither of them looked right for what I had in my mind. Ended up coming up with a blend of the two of them. It's like mostly the sand color with a little bit of the red in there. I'm probably going to run out of it and then end up having to remix more later, and it's not going to be the same, but you know, what are you going to do? It's the way she goes. So after that's all done, I do a quick base rim and matte varnish, and I'm calling it.
Gotta love that chonk.
Yeah,
Gotta love that chonk.
So
what a good model.
Yeah.
People, I remember when he came out, were making fun of his like baldness.
I love his
where
baldness.
It looks like a bit of a monk cut,
yeah, it totally does. Yeah.
But I think it slaps.
Yeah, thanks. I'm really happy with how it came out. I mean, I think over the course of painting 2,000 points, I know that this scheme will like evolve a little bit just because I can't paint the same way the whole time. But I'm really happy with the baseline I've set up here. I'm very worried that I'm going to run out of my custom pigment mix and then try to mix it again, and it's not going to be the same. But I mean, deserts have variation, so I think that's cool. But yeah, I can't wait to dig into this project and finish off the 500 points, and I think it should be pretty fast now.
Yeah, I can't wait to finish my team and then shoot your team.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
Shooting each other's teams.
So yeah, the next update on this project is going to be Brad going through his Votan scheme, which I'm very excited for. I've already stolen the two best colors in blue and pink, so he'll have to do something else.
You know what? I do blue and pink so often
Yeah,
that
me
I made
too.
a conscious effort not to use blue and pink here.
You know what's funny is in our Discord, which you should join, by the way, a few people recently have asked me about a few of my paint schemes, and I realized that this blue, this pink, and this Army Painter Boney Spikes are in pretty much everything I use because I have like...
Is that the AK pink?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's a Vallejo pink.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Vallejo, okay.
But I have a picture saved in my phone because I always send people like, yeah, these are the 3 paints I use for everything.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nice.
Cool. See you in the next one.